I'm proud of our fight, the toughness that we showed, our ability to stay together. Our bench was really engaged in every timeout and in every huddle. We were all engaged.
6 records shattered, but just 1 point short. That was the tough reality Caitlin Clark faced after her game against the Atlanta Dream. Though the scoreboard displayed a narrow 91-90 defeat, her performance left a lasting mark on the record. Books
dug themselves into an early hole here. Clark looking to get going. Oh, that's a deep three!
Caitlin Clark's night against Atlanta was an emotional whirlwind. From controversial calls that stirred reactions on social media to the exact moment she broke records that took legends hundreds of games to reach. It was unforgettable. One of her feats even surpassed Sabrina Ionescu. And another milestone that took Courtney Vandersloot 394 games, Clark achieved in just 42. Despite the narrow loss, show your support for the Fever in the comments below. Let's go.
So we want to win this game. But, I think this is great for our team. A little adversity. How are we going to respond? How are we going to come in here tomorrow morning and watch the film and learn and get on the court and get better? And like I said, that's why this league is so great. You have a couple days and then you get right back to it. You find a way to respond. We have a chance to go there and play them, actually. So it's even better, I guess. We can, get a little redemption if we go down there and play well.
Imagine delivering one of the greatest individual performances in WNBA history and still falling just short. That's exactly what unfolded when the Indiana Fever went head-to-head with the Atlanta Dream in a thrilling matchup that ended in a heartbreaking 91-90 defeat. Just 1 point separated Caitlin Clark from pairing a team victory with her record-setting night.
Honestly, I give my team a lot of credit, my teammates a lot of credit. We never gave up. We fought. We were right there. We found a way to get back in it. When things didn't seem very good for this group, at least we stayed together and we kept fighting, and that's a positive.
The final seconds told the story of what might have been. With just 9.7 seconds remaining and the Fever trailing by 1, Caitlin Clark inbounded the ball to Natasha Howard. The original play was drawn up for Aaliyah Boston, but tight defense from the Dream shut down that option. Howard found an opening and took the shot, only to have it blocked by Nia Coffey. She recovered her own rebound for a second chance, but the ball simply wouldn't drop.
They shot 32 free throws. It's a lot of free throws. Going to be difficult to win a lot of games when we foul people that much and put them at the line that much. It's tough. They made 25 out of 32. We still went to the line 26 times, missed 10. So that's the game really right there. It obviously doesn't come down to that, but it's just a little thing.
Free throws quietly proved to be the Fever's downfall. They went just 16 for 26 from the line, leaving 10 critical points behind in a game decided by a single point. Natasha Howard missed all 4 of her free throws in the fourth quarter, and Aaliyah Boston came up short on a key attempt late in the game. In such a tight contest, those misses were magnified. Still, the Fever showed tremendous grit, rallying from double-digit deficits multiple times. Their resilience stood out, but defensive consistency was a major issue. The Dream poured in 31 points in the first quarter and 32 in the third, while the Fever held them to just 13 and 15 in the second and fourth. That up-and-down defense ultimately proved costly. Coach Stephanie White didn't hold back when addressing the team's defensive struggles.
I didn't think we were disruptive at all. I felt like we let them move the ball wherever they wanted to. We had a lot of breakdowns in our coverages. We weren't really helping one another out. We played like 5 individuals defensively at times instead of collectively as a unit. And good teams take advantage of that. Atlanta was really good at getting downhill. They knocked down some tough shots, but when you dig yourself a hole, it makes it really difficult to use all your energy to come back.
The Dream's defensive game plan to limit Caitlin Clark proved just effective enough. They applied full court pressure and rotated multiple defenders to disrupt her flow. Head coach Tanisha Wright explained the approach clearly. We tried to keep the ball out of certain players' hands, including Clark. The goal was to force them into taking difficult shots.
What was the plan defensively for the Fever's last possession of the game?
Yeah, there was, we just put a lineup up there that we thought could match up. We were going to, if we needed to, we'd switch. If we got hung up on anything, we try to keep it out of some people's hands. And we were just hoping to take a tough shot, and they probably got a shot that they felt good about, but we played really good defense on the shot. We, didn't foul and made it tough.
Inside the paint, the Fever had no answer for Brittany Griner and Brianna Jones, who dominated with a combined 40 points and 21 rebounds. Ryan Howard also delivered a strong performance, adding 20 points and knocking down 4 three-pointers to help seal Atlanta's win. For the Fever, signs of a team still finding its rhythm were clear. Defensive rotations broke down at key moments, and players seemed uncertain on help assignments. The kind of split-second decisions that only come with time and chemistry. We'll get to the record-breaking performances shortly, but this loss stings even more because of an element completely out of the players' control: the officiating. From fans to Caitlin Clark's own boyfriend, frustration with the calls was evident and widespread.
Boston continues to show her frustration. It really started
Imagine giving everything on the court. Setting records, leading your team, only to have missed calls shift the outcome of the game. That was the painful reality for Caitlin Clark and the Fever in this heartbreaking loss to Atlanta. The frustration was clear on Clark's face, and the officiating left many shaking their heads. Coach Stephanie White was forced to use both of her challenges before halftime, a rare and telling move. She didn't mince words, calling them blatant missed calls. One challenge was even burned on a straightforward out-of-bounds play, the kind of call that shouldn't require review. The early loss of both challenges underscored just how questionable the officiating was throughout the night.
How disruptive were that first half, the choppy water, the stoppages like Caitlin was talking about, and you guys never really were able to get in the pace like you've been talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's every coach's frustration when you have to use challenges on out-of-bounds plays. I mean, it is what it is. But for teams to win 3 challenges in the first half, I don't know that I've ever seen that either.
As the game wore on, Caitlin Clark's frustration became increasingly visible. Drive after drive, she absorbed contact without hearing the whistle. After several no calls, she threw her arms up in disbelief, the tension building with every missed opportunity. Despite her efforts to stay composed, it was clear her conversations with the officials were going nowhere, adding to the growing sense of injustice on the court.
got a piece of the ball, and Clark says part of her arm as well. Jump ball is... Well, she's just so impressive because it's felt like a relatively quieter Kate.
The first half seemed pretty choppy with, the amount of fouls, the challenges. How did that affect you as a point guard and just the team's pace as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, to me, challenges cannot take that long. It ruins the flow of the game. I get it. It's early in the year. The refs want to make the right call. We can't sit there for 2.5, 3 minutes and on an obvious hit out of bounds off of them and still not know the call. I get it. There's things to look at. There's the clock. There's is the ball going to be taken out. But that's not the only reason the flow of the game was ruined. But we're just standing there. We're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting. And then obviously, like I said, a lot of free throws shot between both teams tonight. That makes the game more choppy when there's a lot of fouls.